Hey guys, welcome to the In the Game Room podcast. I am Alan and I'm out here in the gaming room, and what I want to talk about tonight for just a couple of minutes is checking line of sight when you're wargaming. I'm going to use this table here to demonstrate what it is I want to tell you guys about. Basically, we want to pretend that Sherman there is firing at this Tiger tank over here, even though it wouldn't do much good, but it's going to try anyways. So when you have things in between the two vehicles, such as the hedgerow, the house that may or may not be covering, providing cover for the other tank, you have to check line of sight, and there's a lot of different ways to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move around the side of the table over here and talk to that camera over there and show you guys some of the cool tools for doing that, and the latest tool that I found for doing it that I really like. So let me move around there and we'll get resituated and get this underway. Okay, so let me tell you guys a little bit about how I've been checking line of sight. The first tool I ever used for checking line of sight was a periscope. And I made one of these probably about 30 years ago out of a couple of mirrors I found in some cardboard. Now I make a whole kit, laser cut with MDF and acrylic mirrors. And how this works is you actually set it behind your tank that you're going to be doing your firing with, and actually look through the top section here, and that basically puts your eye down at tank level, and you can visually look and see if you can see your target. Now this works great. It does require a little bit of trust. When you're looking through and you say, yeah, I can see it, your opponent has to basically believe you. And if you're playing with friends, that's never a problem really. But it is just basically you saying that, yeah, I can see it. So it works all right. And it's a really cool point of view to look through and see. I wonder if I can do this with the camera here. Put that right there. We'll see how that looks. But just imagine if you were looking through there. So I don't know what that looks like, but we'll see. So that's one way of doing it, with a periscope. The other way of doing it, of course, is a good old-fashioned piece of string. You can put a piece of string between the two, and if it's a line of sight, you're good. The most common way that most gamers these days do this is with a laser pointer, just a dot pointer. What you'll do is you'll put it behind your tank right about at turret level, and you'll point it over at the other tank, and if you see a red dot on the other tank, then obviously there's nothing obstructing the laser beam, so therefore you can see it. This works pretty well. There is one small problem with this, and I've actually run into this before at conventions. When you're pointing at the tank over there, and then you point up a little bit high, and it's hitting the wall over there. Well, that wall wouldn't be here if we were at a convention. That would be hundreds of more gamers. And then all of a sudden somebody comes over and says, hey, you just shot me in the eye with a laser, and I don't appreciate that. So you got to be really careful of that. But other than that, it works pretty good. You can see that it is hitting the tank, and you can see that that you have a line of sight, and you can get a pretty good idea of how much of the tank you can see. And sometimes that matters. If it's more or less than half concealed, that makes a difference in some game systems. So the standard inexpensive laser pointer works really good, and that's an easy way to go. Now if you're feeling especially fancy, as I was one day, there is something called a laser pointer measuring device. Oh, actually I don't know if that's what it's called or not, but that's what I'm calling it right now. This here thing works exactly like a normal laser pointer, except that once you get it pointed at your object, you press let's see, there you go, you press a button again and it gives you a number. It looks like about rounding up, it's 33 inches. So that is pretty cool. But this is going to cost you $100 if you can find these. This particular model I'm not even sure is available anymore, but Bosch makes other ones, and other companies make them too. But it is pretty cool. If you have a little expendable money and you just want to waste it on something really, really cool, this will do it, and it'll tell you, gives you line of sight, and it gives you the range at the same time. That's kind of sweet, but it's, admittedly it's unnecessary, and it's just a silly thing. So those are your two basic laser pointers. So as cool as those are, I just discovered something else very recently that is also a laser device, but instead of putting a point on the target, this device draws a line. And this is even cooler, because you can get a line between the center of your turret and that vehicle, and you can get a real good idea. I can even get a really good idea right now how much of the vehicle is hidden. If I stop right at the edge of the building, I can see that, you know, just sort of this back corner is hidden from view. Everything else is visible. So that tells me that about 3/4 or more of the tank is visible, and if that matters in the rules that you use, then that's a very good bit of information that you can use. Now the way this thing works is if you're just pointing it straight down, the closer you get, the shorter the line gets. So if you wanted to put a line that was, you know, 2 or 3 feet long, you would have to raise up very, very high. You guys can't even see what I'm doing, but I'm, you know, 3 feet up. So that gets a little silly, but you can also angle it. You can angle it this way. I think you guys can see what I'm doing here, or maybe you can't get it in view of this camera. You just angle it back, and it gives you exactly the information you need right there. And it even shows that this shrubbery here is in the way, but not if you're considering we're firing from the turret. We can see right over that. So these are 28mm or 1/56 scale vehicles used for the game of Bolt Action. So if I was playing a game and I was checking this right now, I would say that there's a little bit of soft cover here, and then just a very small amount of the vehicle is behind hard cover, but I wouldn't think it would be enough to make a difference. So I would probably call this vehicle, just as a judgment call, I would probably say that it's behind soft cover, because it is behind a bit, but that's up to you how you play your games. But anyways, all I really wanted to show you was just how cool this thing is, that it draws a line across the entire battlefield regardless of the terrain. If this was way out here, it would draw the line, you know, right across the top of it and everything. So that is pretty sweet. So this is it's called, what is it called? It's called Target Lock laser line, and it's made by the Army Painter company, and it's about $10. I have it on my website at $8.99, and that's, I think, probably about the average price. Comes with 3 of the little 44LR batteries, little watch batteries. Should last many hours with those batteries, but when those batteries run out, those are really easy to find in any drugstore, or you can order them on Amazon and replace the batteries. So it should last for a really long time. It may go through batteries eventually, but then you just replace them. So this is the Army Painter Target Lock, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's pretty cool. I'm definitely going to use it. I still have my standard pointer. I still have the super duper cool $100 laser rangefinder sort of thing, but I think that the Army Painter Target Lock is probably the one that I'm going to reach for more often than not, because it does exactly what I need it to do. So that's it for tonight. Just wanted to show you guys this cool product. This isn't meant as an advertisement, but it is available at gcmini.com if you want to go buy one there. There's a lot of different places online that you can buy them, maybe even in your local hobby shop if you're lucky enough to have one. So I'm recommending that to anybody that wants it and needs it for miniatures gaming. So that's it for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and until next time, keep on gaming.